They say confidence is something you either have or you don't. But reality is quieter than that, more complicated, more human. Because some of the most capable people walk through life carrying a question that never quite fades. Am I enough? Not loudly, not dramatically, but in small, persistent whispers. You replay conversations no one else remembers. You second-guess things you already did well. You hesitate, not because you lack ability, but because certainty feels just out of reach. And the question is, why? Why does the mind doubt what the world already sees as enough? Why does it feel safer to shrink than to fully trust yourself? Self-doubt doesn't show up as something obvious. It doesn't say, you are not enough. Instead, it asks questions. Are you sure? What if you're wrong? Maybe think about it one more time. And because those thoughts sound reasonable, even intelligent, you listen. That's how it begins. Not as fear, but as a quiet voice that slowly starts to feel like your own. You pause before speaking. You rethink decisions that were already made. You go over moments again and again, searching for mistakes that may not even exist. And over time, hesitation becomes your default. But here's the truth most people don't realize. Self-doubt is not something you were born with. It's something you learned. There were moments, small ones, where being certain didn't feel safe. Maybe you spoke and were corrected. Maybe you tried and were judged. Maybe you expressed yourself and felt misunderstood. And slowly, you adapted. You became more careful, more aware, more cautious. You started thinking not just about what you feel, but how it would be received. Because somewhere along the way, your mind learned something important. That being wrong has consequences. That rejection hurts. That mistakes feel personal. So your brain stepped in, not to limit you, but to protect you. And that's the part that changes everything. Self-doubt is not your weakness. It's your mind trying to keep you safe. It's trying to protect you from embarrassment, from rejection, from failure. So instead of pushing you forward, it slows you down. Think more. Wait a little longer. Don't rush into this. And that feels smart. It feels responsible. But here's the hidden cost. The more you wait, the more you hesitate, the more life starts to pass quietly by. Not in big, obvious ways, but in small moments. Moments where you could have spoken, but didn't. Moments where you could have tried, but held back. Moments where you could have shown up fully, but chose to stay small. And over time, that creates something heavy. Not failure, but absence. The absence of your voice. The absence of your potential. The absence of the person you could have been if doubt didn't get in the way. But here's where something shifts. Not all at once, not dramatically, quietly. You start to notice it. The hesitation, the overthinking, the same patterns repeating again and again. And for the first time, you don't just believe the thoughts, you observe them. You ask, why does this keep happening? And in that moment, something separates. The voice and you. You begin to see self-doubt is not who you are, it's something your mind does. And anything your mind does can be questioned. That's the turning point. Not confidence, not certainty, awareness. Because once you see it, you don't have to obey it anymore. The voice still shows up. What if you're not ready? But now you hear it and move anyway. Not because you feel fearless, but because you're no longer waiting to feel perfectly safe. And that's how self-trust is built. Not from always being sure, but from showing up even when you're not. Speaking even when your voice shakes. Trying even when the outcome is uncertain. And slowly, you begin to take your space again. Not loudly, not forcefully, but honestly. Self-doubt doesn't disappear, but it stops being in control. It becomes just one voice, not your identity. And something softer takes its place. Not loud confidence, but quiet acceptance. You stop waiting to be perfect. You stop waiting to feel completely ready. And instead, you meet yourself where you are. Because the truth is simple. You were never meant to eliminate doubt. You were meant to live alongside it, without shrinking because of it. So if this made you feel seen, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. You never know who might need this message next. Take care of yourself.